Hi guys, welcome to the second part of our program Allowing Your Essence to Shine. And today, as I told you last time, we are going to go deeper into the soul challenges of an advanced soul here on earth. We have a beautiful light here with us today to help us transmute a lot of those challenges that we're going to talk about. And I'm sure many of those informations, somehow you know them, but when you see them presented in a structured way, maybe they will make more sense, and maybe also they will help you bring to the surface some things that were hidden. So we're going to talk about the main challenges of an advanced soul, and they are also on layers of the being. We're going to talk about the first layer, that is the inner child, and that is also very intimately connected with transgenerational aspect from our family. And also we'll talk about karmic challenges from another life, and also there is another area of multi-dimensional challenges that we have. We are bringing those challenges here in this dimension from being connected with multidimensional aspects of ourselves that are functioning in other dimensions also. So it's getting a little bit complex today, the puzzle, but it's very simple. It's not complicated. It's very simple, and at the same time is impacting us at a deep level. Because as advanced souls, we are multidimensional beings. We live at the same time in many dimensions and realities and universes, and that's why the puzzle is complex. We are complex beings. We don't function only in one register. We function on many layers. And we're going to talk today about all these layers and how they are impacting us and how they are affecting us, because actually this is what spiritual ascension means, is somehow integrating all those layers of our being, bringing together all those multidimensional aspects, and also healing the work they are functioning and healing the way we are functioning in them, in those dimensions. So here we go. We are going to start with the basic level, which is the inner child level, at which I think all humanity that is living now on earth, we have traumas, dramas, and deep embedded in our cellular memory, because this is the effect of the old paradigm we lived into. The way we were traumatized when we were children, it's basically the way that the old paradigm put its imprint on our souls, on the purity of our souls. And part of the mission for many of us was to take upon ourselves this dense template when coming in this dimension, dense template of trauma and pain and suffering, so that we can transmute those frequencies, and so that in transmuting those frequencies we can shift into the new paradigm of bringing here on earth the higher dimensions that we know we belong to in our essence. So inner child, at the level of the inner child, we've been impacted by a lot of energies. And first of all, it's abuse, emotional, psychical, physical, um, not talking about sexual, and um, there is a very, it's a very common type of abuse here on earth. Neglect also, it's a type of abuse. So all those patterns are embedded in our cellular memory, and we need to start to transmute them. Then from this deep trauma, they've been developed all sorts of negative thought forms that are running programs. For example, I don't deserve to be here, I don't want to be here, I'm not welcomed here in this family, I have nothing to do here, and this brings a lot of shame and guilt also. These are very deep patterns at the level of the inner child. Also, a lot of sadness and despair, a lot of parts of us that don't want to be here, that wants to die. Also, all the programs of conditional love. I deserve love only if I do this and that. So, what else we encounter at this level of the inner child? The feeling that we're in danger at every step, that something bad might happen to us, that we're not safe in this universe, as we were not safe in our family, in our abusive families. Because most of the advanced souls I encountered are born in abusive, dysfunctional families. So this has been the paradigm on earth until now. And this brought another um, another pattern, feeling shut down in front of love. For example, it's a pattern that it's very, very encountered on earth in this moment. So I think we need to transmute this also, and I think this is a big part of what is getting transmuted now on earth with all this crisis we're going through, the shutdown in front of love. That we have it in ourselves, because when we have abuse in ourselves, the natural reaction is to shut down in front of all the good stuff. You shut down so you can survive the abuse, but you also shut down to all the good stuff that wants to come in. So, those are the deep patterns that have impacted the ancestral line of our family, the transgenerational line on mother's side and our father's side. And we ask for this to be transmuted now for our souls, for our families on mother's side and father's side, for thousands of souls that are assisting now here, that are with us, and that they need this transformation. So there is a bigger healing of the inner child template that is happening now in the collective. And also the inner child healing is very deeply linked with transgenerational healing, because once we heal our inner child, we can open doors for the past to be healed. We can open doors for the inner children of our mother, father, grandmother, grandfather, and many, many generations behind, for their inner children to receive this healing, because they didn't have access to those instruments. They didn't have access to this new paradigm of unconditional love that is coming now on earth to heal all the wounds of the old paradigm. So basically, in doing this work, in doing multidimensional healing, and through this program, and also when we're doing our personal healing work, each and one of us, in doing this, we help heal the past, and we help heal the past generations, because we are like bridge between generations. We are our generation, the one who are choosing to do this work, are a bridge between the old paradigm and the new paradigm, are a bridge between our ancestors and our children. We are a bridge between worlds. We are a bridge between what has been for centuries and the old paradigm of conditioning that was owning yeah, the earth, and the new paradigm that is coming now here. It's just, we are so blessed, and at the same time it was not easy to take upon ourselves such a big task, but we are chosen. We chose this, and this chose us at the same time, and we are blessed. This is what I feel right now to express this. It was really big, and also we should hug ourselves for this big job that we did until now, and also for the big job that is waiting for us from now on. To become this new paradigm and to embody this new paradigm and to continue our deconditioning work. It's just it's big, but we're being supported to do it. So, okay, another type of challenge, these are the karmic challenges that, again, the humanity, I feel really deeply that the humanity is making the shift and goes into goes from the karmic stage in relationships, especially from a more soulful reality of the relationships. So basically, the karmic challenges are expressed in a few ways. First of all, in karmic relationships, that I honestly feel it's time for them to go to an end. Many of the relationships until now on Earth were karmic, based on past life issues remain unsolved, and sometimes when a contract could not be sorted out in the soul in a past life, we come in this lifetime and we meet again with the other soul that was part of the initial contract, so we can come to a balance. And basically this is what I'm seeing in the collective, that the karmic stage in the relationship is done, and we have to go through a more meaningful paradigm of deep soul connections and of bringing here on earth this divine union paradigm of bringing together the feminine and the masculine. And there is a deep sigh here, because there is a deep longing in the collective for bringing together those two energies inside and outside of ourselves. Also on the karmic level, we have all the past life vows, oaths, commitments, and karmic contracts of poverty, of chastity, of limitation, all sorts of contracts that we made in other lives. It's also time for them to be burned and released, because they are limiting the true expression of ourselves. And also it's part of the work we're doing, just to release those contracts. Also, another kind of karmic challenge is the trauma that we have at the level of the DNA, trauma from other lives, from other events, from dying in all sorts of ways, from being punished, from being burned, as I was saying last time, from, I don't know, dying in wars, from dying in prison, from being imprisoned, from all sorts of patterns that, again, It's time to heal, to go on those timelines and heal those timelines that are affecting our highest potential. And also, I think we did a great job in the last years of deconditioning all that. And this is opening the door for accessing more the essence of our soul. And also for souls with healing abilities, for healers, for people that are watching this now. If you're watching this, for sure you have this healing abilities. It is also about healing the lifetimes where we've been punished for our healing abilities, because this is what is stopping us. Those memories that we have imprinted at a cellular level or are stopping us in this lifetime to go more into our power and to express more the essence of our soul and to do more our mission and to express more who we really are here on earth. So it's also time for all the past life trauma to be transmuted so we can access again the original blueprint of our soul and the energy of our mission, and just to allow our essence to shine, as I said into the title of this program. This is the thing. So, okay, all these karmic challenges now are getting transmuted at level of the soul, and we need to work on this to decondition ourselves and to decondition our old selves, from everything, from all the ties, all the cords that are keeping us stuck into past life scenarios that happened centuries ago and that are not valid in this reality we live now, in this time. Okay, so we're going now to talk about multidimensional challenges that are very much connected with the dimensions, the higher dimensions in which our souls are functioning. Because with a multitude of dimensions in which our soul are functioning, and a big challenge of the soul for advanced souls, from what I saw, is a connection with deep emotional dungeons like despair, hopelessness, powerlessness, lack of self-worth in many layers of our being. Is not only on the level of inner child. There are many, many layers. There is this deep feeling that might come from the inner child wounds, but might come also from karmic aspects, that might come also from patterns that our ancestors had, and we have them with ourselves, those connections with deep dungeons of despair, of worthlessness, of shame, of guilt, of powerlessness. And what happens is also that we tend to connect with other souls in the astral level that are also vibrating at the same frequency, and this frequency amplifies, is getting bigger, and we just start to feel obstacles in our life and we don't know why, so it's also a good idea from time to time to clear in the astral level all the cords with other souls that are connecting with deep emotional dungeons, because honestly, it's really time to see that we, as advanced soul, we cannot help anyone on this earth, that if we're going and throw ourselves into the dungeon where other souls are vibrating. And the deepest work and the most powerful work we have to do with ourselves is to hold the frequency of who we really are, and just to stand in our truth, in our light, and to shine our essence so with so much strength and commitment and alignment, so that we can radiate our essence into the world to whoever needs that essence, and so that we can, you know, offer our hand to the one that are willing to hold on to our hand. But there is no help if we're going to throw ourselves into those dungeons. There is a lot more help available for many other souls if we just stay in our power and then offer our frequency to shine into the world and to influence and to inspire other people. Basically, this is how we can shift this challenge at the level of the soul. Also, another challenge is connected is that advanced souls are pretty much connected with dark energies that are influencing and interfering with the highest path of our souls. And this is because at this at a certain level we allow it to happen. So we really need to understand and to embody, more than understand, to embody the fact that darkness is here the same as the light is here. And at one point, our soul tricked itself into saying yes and into leaving doors open to being tricked by the darkness. So, it's just time to stand again into our power and to understand that no darkness can interfere without our approval, and no force in the universe can override our free will. Nothing ever can override our free will. And this is our point of power. And this is also our responsibility that we need to take back with that power. Power comes with responsibility. And a lot of advanced souls are somehow refusing to take back their power because they feel overwhelmed by the responsibility. And this is a big discussion that we don't have time here to go deeper into it. But for many of us, it's really time to release all the dark contracts we had. It's really time to release all the implants we had from dark energies. It's really time to release all the entities, all the demons, all the demonic programs that just were taking us the power away from us. So we just have to revoke the permission for everything that interfered with our path and with the highest path of our soul. And we also many of us we need to understand that in the end darkness serves the light, and in the end all the initiations that darkness is offering us are serving us to build the power of our soul. And this is one of the greatest thing when we are out of an initiation that has been really hard and in which we felt that we're going to die and we're going to disappear, we're going to explode, we're going to be destroyed by the darkness. The most beautiful thing is to see that everything you went through, it served you to become more of who you are. and yeah, you can have more access to your light and to who you are. At the same time, there is a tricky thing to try and go over and over again through the same challenges and through the same darkness so that you can prove yourself that you're powerful. So this is another challenge that many advanced souls are having, you know, to have this tendency to go again and again into heavy stuff and into dark stuff and go again and again and process the darkness and again so that they can prove themselves something, or so that they just disconnect themselves from light and love and being, you know, having an easy path, you know, having ease on this spiritual journey. So it's time, it's really time for more ease on planet Earth. Really, I mean, if we're doing our work and if we're making the right choice, the moment we see we're going on a heaviness, and the moment we see we choose heaviness, it's really time to reframe this, because I really feel we're coming now on Earth more into a paradigm of ease and of just creating and co-creating with the forces of the universe our path here on Earth and our spiritual journey and our human life from more ease. So we really need to embed this energy. Great. So good. We're moving on to another challenges that are even more and more interesting. I'm telling you. So the next one is over responsibility. I already touched a little bit this subject when I talked about power a little bit earlier. A lot of the advanced souls, we feel all responsible for everything that happens here on Earth, for all the darkness that is on this planet. That's everything is our fault. That we should do things in a certain way. If everything that happens bad, it's our fault. And really, over responsibility is a huge demon, honestly, that is just disconnecting us from stepping in our power and from assuming the right size of responsibility that each one has, and the responsibility that empowers us, not that burdens us. You know, many of us feel burdened by responsibility because we tend to feel responsible for everything, and then because we feel responsible for everything, we don't want to assume responsibility for anything and then we don't choose anything, and just we stay in a state of powerlessness because we don't want to choose, because if we choose we have to be responsible for our choices, and we go in a vicious cycle, and we can be in this vicious cycle for lifetimes, and we can be in this vicious cycle for years. And it's also time to go into an easier paradigm of responsibility and power. Honestly, to know what is in my power, what is not in my power on this earth, what is in my responsibility, what is not in my responsibility also on this earth. And we just need to regain our connection again, and our connection with the source and with our soul will always tell us what is the right approach, what is the right balance, what is the right dosage, you know, into this paradigm of power and responsibility. So yeah, again, this is a huge subject. We can talk for hours only about this. So another pattern that is even more interesting is self-sabotage. There is no advanced soul I work with in my life until now in which I haven't seen this self-sabotage. To higher degree or to reduced degree, doesn't matter, but we all have it. to deep down in our core, it's a big pattern of self-sabotage, from self-sabotaging our mission, our path, self-sabotaging our love, our joy, self-sabotaging our relationships, self-sabotaging in just having when life that comes to us with ease. So, well, mostly it comes from guilt, from deep guilt at the level of the soul. So we need to clear this pattern of guilt from other lives in which maybe we did things we considered bad, which of course we know in the soul there is no such thing as good or bad. But if we've been tricked to believe that we are bad because we did something bad, then this implant of guilt is staying with us in our subtle bodies and is giving us the same experience of guilt, and even more than guilt, shame, existential shame. I'm bad in my essence. It's not guilt is I did something bad. Shame is I'm bad into the very core of my being. So this is a deep program that really needs to be transmuted now, so we can make space for more ease, more love, more joy, more power, and more mission. So another pattern is that of that I see this in many souls, that of being afraid that something bad will happen or the dark energies will come and take over if we step more in our power. And this is mostly a reactivation of trauma that we have from other lives. And I talked about this also in the first module and also today in the karmic challenges. Again, it's really time to see how powerful we are. And it's really time to take back our power in front of those energies. And it's really time to see the choice we have. And that we always have a choice, even when it seems we don't have a choice. So it's also time to see what was our hidden agenda in allowing those energies to come and influence us more than it was into the highest good of our soul. So it's time to connect with our true power, with our sovereignty. And speaking about this, there are also souls that are having a feeling of being incarcerated. And it's also from lives where we actually been incarcerated. It's also from dimensions where darkness came and took over. And we felt entrapped into shields of darkness, or we had shields of darkness around our souls, and we got tricked and we said yes to those shields of darkness. We got tricked by beings that were telling us, I have something that you don't have, so please take this because you will be more and you will become more. And we said yes. And it's really time to just revoke all those contracts that we made and just out-create them from the power of our higher self, from the power of who we really are, so that we can receive more of our essence, so that we can come more in the truth of who we are. And there is one challenge that it's been really um, devastating for many souls here on earth. It has to do with relationship challenges, but it's also more than that. It's a deep soul challenge for many beings that are living on this planet. And it's a program that is telling us that love is not possible here on earth. And this is, again, I think it's one of the programs that we felt devastated by into the most degree until now on earth. And it has to do with the old paradigm and the new paradigm that is coming here. And it has to do with the fact that we lived until now in a disconnection from the connection with the universal love. So a part of us remained disconnected from the universal love. And then this part of us manifested into our life and attracted into our experiences mirrors that mirrored back to us our own disconnection from universal love. And it's also time for us to reframe this deep challenge at the level of the soul that we felt here on earth, that love is not possible here. And that love is possible only in higher dimensions. And love is possible only in heaven. And here on earth we have to struggle, we have to fight with a lot of energies that are working against love because love is not possible. And for many of us, it was like this. Many of us had relationships in which they didn't feel the divine love because we lived in a paradigm disconnected from the soul, from divine love. So again, this is what is happening now with all this time of isolation and quarantine and everything that happens now on earth. It's just coming back to the connection with universal love, coming back with in connection with higher dimensions of the soul, and coming back into our hearts and into the truth of our hearts. And from that love, when we're connected there, all these challenges can be transmuted. Everything we talked about today can be transmuted, because in that love, nothing else can stand, nothing else than the truth. So this is the new paradigm we're going into. A paradigm of truth, and the only truth is love. So in which ways, in how many ways we can allow this paradigm to manifest into our lives? This is the question I'm leaving you with until next time, when we're going to talk about the personal power and the energy of the mission of the advanced souls. I give you a big hug, and bye until the next time.